Okay, so well, the reason I wanted to make this video amongst others, it's because I've been really trying to let go of the resistance to experiencing negative emotions. And well, the context of this video is when I was preparing a video where I was just explaining my choice to do YouTube and just introducing myself more and so on. And so it included a part where then I was talking about my time in uni, and quite unexpectedly it really brought up like some really intense emotions. And well, as usual, when there are any sort of negative emotions that rise up, well, the first instincts are to try to repress them, to try to move on as fast as possible and so on. But actually they very much have their place. Like they're here to give a message about what needs more attention in our lives. And as I was trying to resist, trying to suppress these emotions and just keep on going forward, well, the realization that I really got here is that I don't feel unconditionally worthy. I really saw those thinking patterns of needing to be productive, needing to prove myself, needing to be perfect, and therefore not wanting to accept and welcome, well, any such heavier emotions that could slow me down or make me need support from others and so on. But yeah, actually, as humans, we are very much meant to experience the full spectrum of emotions and experiences, and actually trying to get rid of them and not welcoming them actually makes it much harder to go through them. And although in the moment of experiencing these heavy emotions, it can definitely be very uncomfortable, but well, I've come to notice, to learn that it eventually always goes away. Like before, when I would go into an emotional slump, in those moments I would be so lost into that heaviness that I would feel like this is what I have always felt, this is what I will always feel, and like there's no end to it. But after every single time coming out of it, and then when feeling more joyous again, wondering how I could even experience such a low, well, I've come to realize that it is cyclical, that emotions are ever changing, just as pretty much anything in our human experience. And so, learning through experience that every time it's gonna pass, no matter how heavy it feels in the moment, well, it has become easier for me to acknowledge it and to slowly try to, instead of repress it and push it away, to try to gently hold it in the moment and give myself the space to feel it. Like, well, for example, this time my initial reaction was of, anxiousness of, oh no, how am I gonna complete this video for this week? How am I gonna get anything done? But then, I had this voice that came up telling me to just drop everything for the moment, that I know that things will eventually change, that I'm dropping any pressure to get anything done, to just give myself that luxury of not worrying about anything editing me here. I once again can see here how my perceptions get really distorted when entering a low, because now I'm here completing a video well on time, and even after a few days of not doing anything YouTube related, and with it then now a much better state of mind. So it serves me as good proof that I'm very much allowed to, and it's actually better for me to pull that emergency brake when needed, although the extent at which we can drop things for the moment can vary based on situations, of course. And also from experience, well, the reason that when feeling good, it's hard to imagine why I ever had any lows, and then eventually a low does hit again. Well, it's just that it really takes time to unweed these unserving and unhelpful beliefs that have entered our unconscious for so many different reasons. Like in the case of this feeling of needing to prove one's worthiness, well, it's, for example, through our work being graded based on how good it is instead of how much effort we're put in, or ads trying to convince us that there's something that needs fixing in us. And well, the nasty thing, I guess, about these big emotional lows is that it's really a vicious cycle of first experiencing some heaviness, and then it being amplified by resisting it, and then isolating oneself because feel like we don't deserve to talk about it, that our struggles aren't worthy of support and so on. And I feel like I've been rambling for quite a bit, but what I really want to say is that, well, no matter how you feel, you're always just as worthy, and all your experiences are completely valid. It doesn't matter if you feel like, well, the reasons behind them are not good enough or serious enough, or you're too privileged to experience such emotional difficulties or whatnot. It doesn't change the fact that in the moment you are experiencing these heavy emotions, and you truly deserve all the care and all the support for navigating the ups and downs that inevitably each one of us goes through. So these were just few words that I wanted to drop today, as a way also to acknowledge each and everyone's personal struggles, and no matter how big or small we feel like they are, you're not alone. And if right now you are having a hard time, well, sending you lots of loving thoughts, and I want to let you know that better days are to come eventually. I cannot tell you when, but they are there, right around the corner. And so just out here learning to cultivate gentleness and loving kindness. I'm holding your hands whilst I too am still walking that path and learning to acknowledge my unconditional worthiness. I see you. I'm sending you big hugs and all the support in your own journey, and I hope I could somewhat communicate my random thoughts on self-acceptance with you. I'll see you soon.